It's official, Jimmy Butler is a warrior, and he's already making waves with his first words in Golden State. In his emotional introduction, Butler said he's happy to be playing basketball again, sending a clear message about his fresh start after a dramatic exit from Miami. The trade shocked the NBA, but Butler's energy, focus, and hunger for a title are exactly what the Warriors needed. Fans are buzzing about how he'll fit alongside Curry, and what this means for Golden State's championship hopes. Why did he really leave Miami? What's next for the Heat? And how does Butler change the entire dynamic of the Warriors? Get ready, this move could reshape the Western Conference entirely. The NBA offseason has already given us a handful of blockbuster surprises, but none more electrifying or, frankly, more unexpected than Jimmy Butler's move to the Golden State Warriors. If you've been following the headlines, you probably already know that Butler's departure from the Miami Heat wasn't exactly smooth sailing. But today, we're diving deep into his Warriors debut, the emotional and strategic meaning behind his press conference statements, and how this move could change the landscape of the NBA over the next few years. When Jimmy Butler stepped up to the podium for his introductory press conference in the Bay Area, he didn't hold back. With a grin on his face and a little swagger in his voice, Butler began with something that sounded more like a sigh of relief than a headline quote, "I'm so happy to be playing basketball again." That single sentence, humble as it was, carried the weight of everything that led to this moment: months of tension in Miami, multiple suspensions, and what some insiders described as a deteriorating relationship with Heat management and coaching staff. Butler's time in Miami was anything but dull. He was the face of the franchise for 4 seasons, leading the Heat to 2 NBA Finals appearances and turning what many considered a fringe playoff team into a feared postseason force. But behind the scenes, things reportedly got rocky toward the end. According to sources close to the Heat organization, Butler's intense competitive nature, something that made him a fan favorite, also made him a difficult personality to manage internally. His clashes with teammates, on-court frustrations, and fiery demeanor led to at least 2 suspensions during the 2024-25 season, not to mention mounting speculation that his time in Miami was nearing its expiration date. Still, at the press conference, Butler made a point to keep things classy when discussing his former team. "Great organization," he said. "It didn't end the way everybody hoped, but that's part of the business. And that's vintage Jimmy. He may be outspoken, emotional, and blunt, but he's also fiercely loyal to the teams he plays for." Even after a rocky ending, Butler wasn't interested in throwing anyone under the bus. He recognized the business side of basketball, and he chose to move forward rather than look back in anger. Now, why the Warriors? Of all teams in the league, why did Butler land in Golden State? Well, there are a few layers to that answer. First, let's talk basketball fit. The Warriors have been desperately trying to extend their dynasty in the post-Kevin Durant era. While Steph Curry has remained an elite player and face of the league, the rest of the roster has seen major fluctuations. Draymond Green is older, Klay Thompson has battled injuries and inconsistency, and young guys like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody haven't quite hit that next level of stardom. Butler brings something Golden State has lacked since Durant left: a physically imposing, two-way wing who can score, facilitate, and defend at an elite level. And it seems Butler knows exactly where he fits in this puzzle. In one of the most talked about moments of the press conference, he joked, "Pass the ball to Steph and get out the way. Easy." That line instantly went viral. It wasn't just hilarious, it was self-aware. Butler understands he's coming into a team with an established culture and an all-time great at the helm. Rather than forcing his own system onto the Warriors, he's signaling his willingness to adapt, play his role, and most importantly, win. And speaking of commitment, Jimmy's not here for a short-term vacation. The Warriors locked him in with a massive 2-year, $121 million contract extension that keeps him in Golden State through the 2026-27 season. That kind of money sends a clear message: the Warriors are all in on Butler, and Butler is all in on them. At 35 years old, This could very well be the final major contract of his career, and he's chosen to spend it chasing a championship in the Bay. Let's break down what this means from a roster and cap space perspective. With Butler's contract on the books, the Warriors are going deep into luxury tax territory. But ownership has proven time and time again that they're willing to spend if it means contending. Joe Lacob and Bob Myers, or rather, the new front office led by Mike Dunleavy Jr., have shown no hesitation in paying up when the right talent is available. Adding Butler next to Curry, Green, and possibly a re-signed Klay Thompson gives Golden State one last real shot at hanging another banner. But it's not just about the names on the roster, it's about the style of play. Butler's game is tailor-made for playoff basketball. He's not the type to go off for 35 every night during the regular season, but come May and June, he turns into a different animal. We've seen it countless times: 2020 in the bubble, 2023 against the Celtics, even this past postseason before Miami's early exit. He elevates his play when the lights are brightest, and that's exactly what Golden State needs. One interesting wrinkle in this signing is how Butler will gel with Curry, both on and off the court. These are two very different personalities. Curry is known for his calm, even-keeled leadership, while Butler brings that fiery, emotional edge. But in a strange way, that contrast could be a good thing. Curry has always played well alongside alpha personalities. Just look at how he adapted to Kevin Durant's presence without issue. And Butler, when surrounded by professionals who match his work ethic, usually thrives. Golden State's locker room may be just what he needs to finish his career on a high note. What about the fans? Reactions have been all over the map. Some longtime Warriors fans are ecstatic, calling Butler the missing piece and praising the front office for making an aggressive move. Others are more skeptical, wondering how Butler's intense style will fit within the Warriors' famously joyful system. Social media exploded with hot takes after the press conference. On one hand, you had users tweeting, "Curry and Butler gonna cook the league," while others weren't shy about their concerns, "This is gonna blow up by mid-season." And let's not forget Heat fans, many of whom are heartbroken. Butler was more than just a star in Miami, he was a symbol of the team's identity. Grit, toughness, defense, heart, that was Jimmy Butler, and by extension, that was Miami Heat basketball. His departure, especially under such cloudy circumstances, left a lot of fans feeling frustrated and blindsided. But even in leaving, Butler still showed respect for the franchise, its fans, and the journey they shared. There are also big questions about usage. Butler has always been ball dominant, especially in clutch situations. Will he be comfortable playing more off the ball while Curry initiates the offense? Early signs are positive, especially given Butler's pass to Steph quote, but we'll need to see it play out on the court.